perfect. It's in Japanese.
In the now foreign year of 2014, when things were easier, I was introduced to the soon-to-be popular Space Ninja Wizard game that is Warframe. At the time, a free-to-play sci-fi game where you could practically fly around and destroy all enemies in your path with magic for free was an alluring proposition for a teenager with no money to buy any other games. I played on and off for a few months that year, but I couldn't really sink my teeth into the game. Grinding for material was an idea that I was already familiar with, being a fan of JRPGs, but something about Warframe just had me continually bouncing off of the game. For the next 5 years I would continue to play on and off, constantly re-downloading, and then subsequently deleting Warframe whenever I could no longer handle the grind. Being an online shooter, Warframe would of course include plenty of killing things over and over again to get the loot you want. But as a free-to-play game, Warframe had to make the grinding rewarding, but not rewarding enough that you could have everything you want within a matter of weeks. There needs to be a way to keep players hooked in with their sunken cost, so they feel the need to come back. The breadcrumb of power scaling appears as you make your way from planet to planet, replaying levels to get your blueprints, to craft your weapons and frames, but oh wait, this will take a day to build, so come back tomorrow. You go back online the next day and you find something else cool that you want to build, but that'll take another day, and the cycle goes on and on. Looking back on it now, it seems like the waiting was the worst part for me. To me it felt like nothing I did mattered, as it would take days to get anywhere. In other games we are given instant gratification, in Warframe it's a slow climb. Digital Extremes continues to update and work on this game, and as such there is no current endgame, but just maybe the real endgame is the friends we make along the way. After coming back to the game in 2020, I can tell that I've missed a lot. From the 22 Warframes that were available when I started, not counting Prime, they've added 44 more, counting the souped-up Prime versions of the Warframes. Digital Extremes has continued to add content to the game, filling it up like a turkey on Thanksgiving. New quests, new weapons, and new things to do. I just had to start. I believe that what kept me away from this golden goose was that the grinding didn't feel rewarding.
I'm the trash man!
You could spend hours trying to max a frame after a prestige so you could finish a planet, but getting those levels felt like a year-long journey. That's where affinity boosters come in. Finding out that there would be an affinity booster for a week after Tenecan was a dream come true. I could watch those glorious XPs without even the slightest hint of boredom. This was the push I needed to get back into Warframe, and has led to me enjoying the game more. Having just completed the second dream, and a war within quests, I am definitely invested in this game again. These quests were fantastic, and I actually like the storyline, as there isn't much outside of these quests. I know that once the week is over that things will go back to normal, but hopefully I'll have better gear and won't have much to complain about anymore.
Psych!
At least that's what I would say, but you wanna know what I found out? Huh? I hate this grind so much. Let me give you an example. To farm any Prime Warframe you have to farm relics. To farm relics you have to play certain levels that provide those relics. But don't worry, there are multiple ways to find this out. By using websites such as Warframe Drops or TennoZone, you can find exactly what you need. Once there to your hoard, you discover that relics have low drop rates, as does everything in this game. To farm the mods you need, you head over to Mars, Uranus, or Sedna to do disruption missions, which grant the greatest chance of getting the relics you need. But don't forget that in order to give yourself the best advantage, you need to farm in the holy order of whatever tier your relic drops in. So if you need something in tier B, you would farm in the 4-3-2 pattern for 12 hours in success, or not. It depends really. Then to open up the relic you're going to need Void Traces, which can only be obtained on missions with Void Fissures to farm Void Traces. Once you have enough, you can upgrade the relic to the rarity that gives you the best shot at your item. But never forget that the item you desire also has a low percentage of drop-in depending on its rarity in the relic. Hope you brought enough of the relics you need in case your item doesn't drop, but if it doesn't, it looks like you'll be returning to step 1. When you've got your item, the easiest step is simply crafting the item, unless it requires argon crystals, which can be found in the void. Something you only find out not from the game but from other people on the internet, as the game practically tells you nothing, and if you're playing by yourself, then you better get used to having to tab out every 5 seconds when you find something new. This process was arduous and simply made me bored. There was no enjoyment coming out of it. It is quite actually the definition of hard work pays off, as the item you're farming for is usually worth it, but if the journey isn't entertaining, then why take it? I was told a tale from Maple's story in its heyday. It was exactly like this. A grind to get an item, to get another item, with percentages so low you could barely see them. Warframe's gameplay is fun, but unless I am willing to put money into it, I don't see myself coming back anytime soon. And don't even get me started on the inventory, which requires the in-game currency called platinum. The only ways to receive said currency is to buy it with real money or to farm more relics, so that you can sell prime items to collect the items you were grinding for in the first place.
But I'll probably come back despite my hate. Space ninjas are kind of cool.